previously. A man is killed but reincarnated as a slime called Rimuru, with the ability to eat his enemies to gain their skills and powers. He quickly becomes very overpowered and meets an orc population who need his help. He solves all their problems with ease and becomes their leader. One day they hear some noise in the woods, so Rimuru goes to investigate. In the woods, a girl is about to be smashed by a huge ant, but then some mysterious black magic appears. It is Rimuru, and he destroys the monster with his magic. He is surprised to learn that Shizu, the masked adventurer, is the person he saw in the elven girl's crystal ball, meaning the one he is destined to be with. The other three are also familiar to him, being the same trio that he met at the gates of the cave where Veldora was sealed. Rimuru escorts them to his village, where he allows them to rest and recover from their journey. After they are done with introductions, the adventurers are shocked to find a slime to be in charge of the village. Rimuru decides to use a line from a popular game he used to play in his world, which seems to resonate with Shizu. Kaval is very forthcoming and tells Rimuru all about the mission they got from Fuse. Shizu and Rimuru get a chance to talk in private, where Rimuru confirms that she is also from Japan. Upon learning that Rimuru is Japanese too, Shizu seems really happy. She tells him that unlike him, she came to this world like a summon a very long time ago, back when the air raids on Japan were happening. In her severely injured state, she asked for help from her summoner, but instead he offered her body to the fire spirit Ifrit. Her summoner, the demon lord Leon, was attacked by a monster that desired to become a demon lord itself. Leon awakened Ifrit inside of Shizu to fight and protect him, and her body moved on her own, easily killing the intruding monster. Shizu can still feel powerful Ifrit raging inside of her. Afraid that she might lose control while in the village, she decides to leave early. Before leaving, she meets with Rimuru, telling him of her goal, namely, to find the person who summoned her. Just as her adventuring friends are saying their farewells and are preparing to leave with her, Shizu is overcome by Ifrit. The mask on her face cracks and falls off, with flames erupting all around her. The other three adventurers recognize her as the Conqueror of Flames, the legendary hero from 50 years ago who is said to be retired. After shedding a few tears, Shizu is completely consumed by Ifrit, who takes her place in both body and mind. Iren, Kaval, and Guido realize they do not stand a chance but refuse to run away, stating how she is one of theirs, so they need to bring her back. And so the fight begins, with Ifrit summoning more fire monsters who start setting everything on fire. Rimuru's water-based attacks do not work against them, so he asks Iren to fire her ice magic at him. As he noticed that it works, she does so, and Rimuru absorbs the ice magic, learning how to reproduce it on his own. Using the ice magic, he quickly takes care of the summoned fire monsters, but the final one explodes in front of the three adventurers, injuring them badly. Rimuru tells Ranga to bring them to safety, while he faces off against Ifrit alone. At first he panics, but after realizing that thanks to his skills, fire has no effect on him, Rimuru easily takes control of the situation and devours Ifrit by using Predator. Once Ifrit is gone, Shizu returns, but she is in a bad shape. Inside of Rimuru, Ifrit is trying to find a way to break out, but is quickly discouraged by any such action as Veldora appears before him. Veldora tells him that escape is impossible, but if he desires to fight, he will be more than happy to oblige. Shizu and Rimuru are by themselves in a tent, where she is resting after the difficult ordeal she went through. There she tells him her life story, recollecting everything that happened to her after she got summoned. After she became Demon Lord Leon's closest aide, she was abandoned when he fled from the hero, who was coming after him. Facing against the hero, she stood no chance, but the hero did not kill her. Instead, she was saved by her. The hero gave her the mask she carries to help her suppress Ifrit and taught her how to use magic. After traveling with the hero for a while, the hero had to leave Shizu behind, so she was left all on her own once again. That is when she decided to use her powers in order to help people who are suffering. She became famous and people were calling her a champion. Feeling her life fading, she asked Rimuru to eat her like he ate Ifrit, stating how she does not want to be absorbed by this world. Rimuru honors her request, asking her what she wishes to find out from the Demon Lord Leon, as he will do that in her stead. Shizu says how she just wants for Leon to acknowledge that she existed. Rimuru swears on his name that he will fulfill that wish of hers. With her last breath, Shizu thanks him, before Rimuru absorbs her into his body. Kaval and others enter the tent in order to check in on Shizu, but they are shocked to find Rimuru in a humanoid shape, resembling a smaller Shizu. Rimuru explains to her adventuring companions what happened, and they regret not being there to speak with Shizu one last time. Afterwards, Iren, Kaval, and Guido decide it is time to return back to their kingdom and report what they learned about the forest and Shizu. Before the trio leaves, they have one final request from Rimuru, asking him to transform into the Shizu-like shape once more. As he does, the three pay their respects and say their farewells as if addressing Shizu herself. Rimuru is touched by how nice they are and decides to award them with some new gear made by the world-famous dwarves that work for him now. After thanking Rimuru for all the kindness he has shown them, the trio leaves and Rimuru spends some time reflecting on everything that happened. In Barren Wasteland, an orc collapses from hunger and exhaustion. At that point, he is approached by a mysterious figure who introduces himself as Gelmund, granting him food and a name. Thus, the orc becomes known as Geld, the orc disaster who will take control of the forest of Jura. Rimuru is satisfied with the development of his village. Managing to find some time for himself, he pulls out the mask that Shizu was using, happy that he managed to fix it. He decides to carry it like a keepsake. Then he begins testing out his human form and the body double skill he got from devouring Ifrit. Realizing that he has taste buds again thanks to the human form, he decides to join Rigurd and the others for the upcoming dinner. Learning that Rimuru will be eating with them, Rigurd decides to throw a feast. In regards to that, Rigurd, Gobta, and some other goblins go hunting together with their Tempest wolves. Rimuru learns that the monsters have been acting up again lately, so in order to make sure nothing bad happens, he sends Rango with them as well. Going back to Veldura's cave, he tests out the new skill he got from Shizu, which allows him to mix skills into new ones. While testing out what he can do, he gets an urgent telepathic message from Ranga, who is in need of help. Rimuru rushes to his side, finding the hunters engaged in a heated battle with 6 ogres. The ogres identify Rimuru as an evil magician, thanks to the mask he is wearing, blaming him for enslaving monsters and attacking their village with the orcs. Rimuru has no desire to fight them, as he is certain there is a misunderstanding. Even though they force the fight, it becomes clear that the ogres do not stand a chance. After Rimuru gives them one final chance to back down, the pink-haired ogre girl stops the fight, explaining how Rimuru cannot be the evil magician they are after. Since he is so powerful, he would not need to use such underhanded tactics as the magician they are after. Using that as a chance to show that he is a slime, Rimuru reveals his true form to them, explaining how the mask he is wearing is just a keepsake. The ogres back down and apologize for being so hostile. Rimuru accepts their apology and invites them to the village so he can learn more about their plight. The feast is a massive success as Rimuru enjoys the tastes he could not while in his slime form. The leader of the ogres explains how a masked magician had led the orcs that attacked his village out of nowhere. Since that is very uncommon for the orcs, they figure that the orcs must have sided with a demon lord. Rimuru reasons that the orcs might be on a conquest to take over all of the great forest of Jura, so he suggests to the ogres to join him and serve under him. After giving it some thought, the leader of the ogres agrees to Rimuru's proposal as long as they are free to do as they please after the orcs have been defeated. Rimuru accepts that condition, saying they will be free to stay and help him build a nation or go on their own way afterwards. In order to make sure the leader of the ogres does not regret his decision, Rimuru decides to name all 6 of them. That proves to be a very taxing undertaking for him as he faints the moment he is done. Upon regaining his consciousness, he is being tended to by the evolved ogres who have all become Kijin now. Since his mind is fuzzy due to fainting, they introduce themselves again with the names he had given them. The leader's name is Benimaru, followed by Shuna, Shin, Hakiru, Sao, and Kuro. Meanwhile, the massive orc army is marching towards Lake Sis, which lies in the middle of the great forest of Jura and is home to the lizard men. The king of the lizard men is shocked to learn the number of orcs approaching, concluding they must be led by an orc lord. In order to be able to fight such a powerful foe, the king decides to send his son, a named lizardman called Gabaru, to visit the local goblin villages and enlist their aid. Benimaru tells Rimuru that before the attack on his village happened, a magician named Gelmund approached him and wanted to give him a name. But Benimaru refused him, not wanting to be named by someone who seems so untrustworthy. The days in village are passing by in peace. Shuna joined the 3 dwarven brothers, putting her silk weaving skills to use and teaching them all about it. Kurobe has gotten on good terms with Kaijin, as both of them are amazing blacksmiths. There is also Shion, who appointed herself to become Rimuru's personal secretary. While doing so, she insisted he would try out her cooking. It is at this point that Rimuru finds out how horrible Shion is at cooking, creating the deadliest concoctions when trying to prepare food. As a punishment for not warning him about it, Rimuru appoints Benimaru as a taste tester to make sure the meals she prepares are not harmful before she gives them out. Gabaru and his squad of lizard men have successfully enlisted the cooperation of some goblin villages. The next one on their list is Rimuru's village. When they arrive to Rimura's village, Gabiru demands that they come under his command, as he will protect them from the invading orcs. It is apparent from his demeanor that he is quite stupid and full of himself, making Rimuru wonder if it would be more helpful if they did not have him as an ally. During their conversation, Gabiru keeps insulting Rimuru for being a lowly slime, which makes his subordinates want to kill the lizard man. In order to prove a point, they take Gobta, who happened to be passing along, and pit him to fight Gabiru in a duel. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.